Bulletcast for life.
Ladies and gentlemen, what the hell did I just watch? What the hell is Survivor Series, goddammit? It's been a very, very interesting night, very interesting turn of events, but I have to start off with this. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a new Bulletcast champion. He is a man who is never fit to be champion. He's a man who I never thought would be a champion. Never thought he'd really succeed in anything in his life. Carlos Mendoza, he's been scratching and clawing for God knows how long to win a championship. You know what? Good for him, you know? Some people deserve to win titles. Some people who don't really have anything going on in their lives. That's what the Bulletcast Championship is for now. Brandon and I, we're both successfully established journalists, you know. I'm the greatest podcaster of all time. But Mendoza, congratulations. You earned it, I guess. Don't worry, TLC, you're losing it. That's the bottom line, because the pod daddy said so. Alright, let's get into it. Survivor Series. I'm gonna try to give you 25 to 30 hot minutes, and then we're gonna go home. So I'm not doing the pre-show. I'm not doing that. We're just sticking to the main card. So the women's elimination match for Raw and Smackdown. Team Raw, Nia Jax, newly added Sasha Banks and Bayley after a kerfuffle backstage with Natalya and Ruby Riott. Mickie James and Tamina Snuka for Raw. They went on to defeat Asuka, Carmella, Naomi, Sonya Deville, and God's greatest gift to humanity, Mandy Rose. So yeah, I mean, let's talk about this for a couple hot seconds. I mean, it was interesting, man. So let's really get into it. And what seems to be a fairly brilliant, smart booking by WWE. They choose to capitalize on the natural heat of Nia Jax, which is received from the crowd, turning on her into a super heel because of what Jax did to Becky Lynch by stiffing her kind of hard, really hard, breaking Becky Lynch's face. So yeah, making Becky Lynch medically ineligible to face Ronda Rousey on Survivor Series. So I mean, this was interesting. So let's really get into it. Sonya Deville absorbed a Bayley-to-belly suplex onto the floor before both she and Bayley were counted out. Raw held a 2-1 advantage, but Jax was willing to forfeit the edge when she turned on Sasha Banks by throwing her off the top rope, allowing Asuka to force Banks to tap out. Jax hits Asuka with a Samoan drop for the win. Grade gave it a B-. There was a dance break in there from Carmella. She was hilarious. R-Truth tried to get on the woman's team. R-Truth came out with Carmella. It was all a good time. It was great. Nothing really more here. All right. But let me tell you something, ladies and gentlemen. You want to talk about me getting fired up? Let's talk about it. Seth Rollins, the Architect, the Kingslayer, the current reigning Intercontinental Champion, defeated Smackdown Live's current reigning United States Champion Shinsuke Nakamura. I almost said Nakamura. All right. So look, it took a bit of patience for this match to kind of pick up in the quote-unquote dream match scenario that this was. But the chemistry between these two performers turned out to be strong thanks to the series of big moves and false finishes. Rollins hitting a trio of suicide dives in the succession and later packaged a superplex into a Falcon Arrow but could only get a 2 count. Nakamura turned in his own drama near fall late in the match. After Rollins missed a frog splash, then Nakamura hit a stiff Kinshasa to the back of the head. The finish came after both missed their attempted finishers. Rollins came back with a beautiful curb stomp for the 1-2-3. The only thing I can complain about in the end was, I mean, I guess, you know, we're used to Seth Rollins stepping it up with his attire. And I really am used to it. So, I mean, honestly, I don't even care. What am I tripping about? I don't even care about the attire. You know, he wore the half Raw and half whatever his t-shirt is at the time. That's atrocious. That has to stop. Other than that, congratulations to both these guys. They gave me, I don't even know how long this match was. They gave us whatever hot minutes. They gave it to us and then they just let it roll, baby. I give the match a B+. If you didn't hear last woman's match elimination, gave it a B-. So that was fun. All right, we got to talk about probably the most disappointing match on the show. The AOP, baby! They go into the AOP, the Raw Tag Team Champions, going to defeat the Bar, Sheamus and Cesaro, the current SmackDown Tag Team Champions. Alright, so the bizarre antics surrounding this match, both random and planned, did enough to completely overshadow the action happening inside of the ring. First, oh yeah, we gotta talk about this. Former WWE superstar Enzo Amore was fired in January, and he was charged with rape allegations, which he was eventually cleared for him. Attempted to steal the spotlight by emerging from a hoodie in the second row to gain the crowd's attention. Amore, dressed in a version of his old WWE How You Doing t-shirt, did his signature shuffle down the aisle after being removed by security early in the match. So yeah, I saw people posting that. I'm like, oh wow, that's interesting. All right, the second black eye of this. What am I talking about? So the match overall, I mean, I give it a D+. It was nothing special. Honestly, the highlight, Big Show's choking Drake Maverick and he pisses himself. That was the highest point of this match. After, a broad kick and Sheamus hits it on, I think it was Razor, Maverick puts one of that member of AOP's leg on the rope. Ref sees it, all that other stuff. AOP, after Maverick pisses himself, they hit Sheamus with a slam, and they walk out with the victory. So yeah, I should have went with the AOP. That was my original pick. I'd probably be the champion right now. God damn it. Yeah, I mean, it was nothing special, nothing extraordinary, All right, but ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk some cruiserweights. That's what I want to talk about right now. So Buddy Murphy successfully defended the WWE Cruiserweight Championship against Mustafa Ali. I'm glad this was on the main card. I really am. Because they were making it sound like the pre-show wasn't shit. I'm be honest with you. I mean, SmackDown, that 10-man tag or whatever, got the win over Raw. But Michael Cole said, no, that was on the pre-show, doesn't count. That's basically what he was saying, so it was interesting. All right, and nothing short of a tour de France of high spots and impact moves. Murphy and Ali took advantage of every single minute given to them. This match was what the hardcore fans felt on the inside. This was a feel-good moment, ladies and gentlemen. They potentially almost stole the show, and midway through the card, it succeeded. The only thing stopping them from this being an instant classic was that it wasn't longer. Ali jump-started the excitement with a front flip off the top rope onto the floor. Murphy countered with a textbook tope con hilo to the floor, stiff strikes, a lot of near falls, insane chemistry, insane athleticism from both of these guys on full display. Ali hit a Spanish fly off the announce table onto the floor. Murphy nearly won the match by combining a super kick and a powerbomb into a sit-out powerbomb that popped the crowd. The finish came when Murphy caught Ali off the top rope with a high knee to the face, followed it with Murphy's Law. Brilliant end of the match. I give it an A-. I feel like Ali should have got more offense in, like a little bit more suspend for disbelief. Yeah, I told you guys 25 to 30 hot minutes. That's not going to happen, I'll be honest with you. I'm damn near halfway done with the card. Yeah, but I felt like Ali should have got a lot more in, and that match would have been a lot better for me. I give it an A-. It was good, there were only two A. Well, that was the only A match, and then there's another thing later on with an A segment, the whole thing, start to finish. So yeah, congratulations for that. All right, the men's Survivor Series team. So let's kick that off. The fact that Randy Orton wasn't a part of this really upset me. So here we go. Let's get into it. All right, Raw. They just had a clean sweep at Survivor Series, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get into it. The Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman, the show-off Dolph Ziggler, the Scottish Terminator, Drew McIntyre, a man who's John Wayne Tough and James Dean Cool, Finn Balor, and the Destroyer, Bobby Lashley. Lashley. From Raw, go on to defeat the most must-see WWE superstar of all time, The Miz, the Commissioner, Shane McMahon, the master of the 619. He dropped the dime. Booyaka, booyaka, Rey Mysterio, the charismatic enigma, Jeff Hardy, and the Samoan submission machine, Samoa Joe. So overall grade, give it a B minus. I gotta be honest, ladies and gentlemen. The beginning of the match just really disappointed me. Claymore to just get Joe out early. I was like, come on, what? You put a killer, you put a bona fide, certified killer on this team, and he's just out early like that? What's up with that? As Hurricane Helms would say. But yeah, man, I mean, disharmony among members and constant bickering didn't stop Raw from ending the match with a 3-on-1 advantage following 4 straight eliminations by Strowman. But after an attack from behind by Corbin, Team Raw left its monster among men in the ring as fellow survivors Lashley and McIntyre walked off alongside acting Raw General Manager Constable Baron Corbin. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, I mean, the match paled in comparison to previous years, including the epic 2016 main event, which was by far probably my favorite Survivor Series elimination tag match of all time. Yet still provided plenty of entertainment thanks to an expected mix of big spots and creative booking. McMahon was his typical Daredevil self. He was his typical Daredevil self. Sorry, with an elbow off the top rope through the announce table on Strowman, coast to coast to Ziggler. Tried to hit a coast to coast on Lashley. Got clobbered in the chest by my boy LeBron Strowman. It was sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Throat's dry. No, but it was cool, man, you know. Strowman went on to power slam Hardy for a pin, catch a 619 attempt by Mysterio, power slammed him, finished off the Miz and McMahon. Strowman owned it up. He was the sole. I mean, he wasn't the sole survivor, but he looked pretty damn strong, getting ready for his eventual title match with Brock Lesnar whenever that happens. Alright, so moving on from that. Oh yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we found out Rollins versus Ambrose, TLC, San Jose, SAP Center. We found out that's happening. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, oh my god, I was fired up. Rowdy Ronda Rousey, the Raw Women's Champion. She defeated via disqualification the former SmackDown Live and Raw Women's Champion, the Queen, Charlotte Flair. The quote-unquote dream match was on the fast track to becoming one of the best in WWE Women's history until an abrupt DQ finish by Miss Flair. But the violence which followed after Flair's heel turn escalated the feud to absorb new levels of heat, possibly even to the main event of WrestleMania, baby. Exactly where does SmackDown champion Becky Lynch, whose facial injuries pulled her from the match, fit into all this? Sorry, tired of coughing. It's difficult to say at the moment, and it's certainly there's a fear for how Lynch will be inserted into this once she comes back. You know, could she be the odd woman out in April? We don't know. Yet it's almost a secondary storyline at the moment because how vicious and jarring Flair's attack on Rousey was truly after the match. After a kendo stick and chair attack, I should say, which featured strikes that were anything but fake, really. I think the highlight, and this is why I gave this match an A. The highlight, not the match, but the whole segment, from match to the afterwards beatdown. Oh my god, this was crazy. Charlotte gets a chair. I mean, I've seen this 100 times, but goddamn. Gets a chair, puts it on Ronda's neck, puts her head inside of it on Ronda's neck, stomps it, just BAM! And I'm like, yo! I was texting my boy Vinny about this, and I was like, yo, oh my god, I'm uncomfortable. I mean, it was awesome. It was truly awesome, seriously. One of the greatest things I've ever seen in the women's division. I mean, the way that Charlotte, her emotion, her flair, yes, pun intended, it was all great. Rousey, the way, the cuts, the bruises, the scrapes on her body after she got up from that, like she looked like she went through an absolute war. And that's exactly what I want from wrestlers, to look like they've gone through hell and high water to put on matches or segments like this. So that gets an A. That gets an A. It did the damn job for me. It hit me in the proverbial feel spot. I mean, it was something truly spectacular. I seriously don't know how I'm going to combat any of this. I don't know where I'm going to go from here with that. I mean, it got me on a little high. It did get me on a little bit of a high, ladies and gentlemen. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, and now it's time for the main event. Raw's WWE Universal Champion, the Beast Incarnate Brock Lesnar, defeated SmackDown Live's WWE World Heavyweight Champion, the GOAT, the Yes Man, Mr. Daniel Bryan. Oh my god, this match gets an A, baby. I was all fired up. I was in my feels watching this. You know, I thought Lesnar was going to tap out. I was like, oh my god, what is happening here? So, ladies and gentlemen, let's jump right into it. What a damn match! What a damn match! Even in 2018, there's nothing quite like an inspired and interested Lesnar who is willing to sell for his opponent. We saw it during 2017 feud with Goldberg, and we saw it during his one-off against AJ Styles at last year's Survivor Series. Bryan replaced AJ Styles after his upset win of the WWE Championship on Tuesday, and this quote-unquote dream match proved to be everything it could have been from the standpoint of violence, work rate, and storytelling. A lot of that, of course, was Lesnar, but Bryan did his own, reminding us just how great he can be in a big match with the performance like that. From a character perspective, seemed to be straddled heel and babyface. After the prolonged beatdown, Bryan absorbed to open the match that was seemingly even worse considering how often he was dropped on his head. Remember? Series of neck issues for Daniel Bryan had to retire because of that. I think it was even worse than when John Cena was squashed by Lesnar in 2014 SummerSlam in the same building, I might add, when Lesnar captured the WWE World title back in 2014. Heel Bryan used a kick to the crotch while the referee was down to work his way back into the match. That's when things became electric. Bryan, who absorbed countless suplexes and an F5, rallied with stiff running knees and sneaky offense outside of the ring. At some points, he played the role of the deviant weasel perfectly, while other times he morphed into a scrappy underdog, overcoming the odds. And more importantly, he did so without ruining the integrity of the match. It was awesome, man. Lesnar's knee gave out when he attempted to give Bryan an F5 late in the match, and Bryan nearly had the match won with the yes lock, selling the fact that he thought about Lesnar selling the fact that he thought about a tap out before powering out. Soon after, Lesnar hit a final F5 to finish off Bryan and continued to sell his leg in a manner that completely put Bryan over in defeat. For a one-off, this was a great theater, and it managed to elevate the statuses of both performers heading into WrestleMania season. Ladies and gentlemen, I gave that an A. Overall show grade, I give Survivor Series a B. I would give Survivor Series a B. It was nice. It was very nice. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I said 25 to 30 hot minutes. He got 18 something. Alright, that's it. Bulletcast episode. I don't know when it's coming. You know, Thanksgiving break is on. Probably Black Friday. Probably not. You know what? I think we'll do it Wednesday, day before Thanksgiving. I'm going to try to cooperate with Brandon to see if that's going to happen. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed Survivor Series. Can't wait to see what happens on Raw tomorrow. Can't wait to see what happens on Smackdown Live Tuesday. This has been the Podfather. Later, Marks.
Cody Rhodes representing the Bullet Club. This has been a Bulletcast. Thank you for listening.